Record. Oh, it's I never saw that before.
Good to go.
There is Vincent.
Vincienzo.
Starry Night. That's Vincent's song.
Hey, I got voice now. Good.
Yeah, we can even hear you.
Right now, what I have in my screen is your name.
Well, did you want to see my name?
No, I want to see your face.
Oh,
No.
I gotta plug the camera
You
in.
don't want to see Dan's face.
All right.
I'm a
So do I
face for
click on-
radio.
Where do I click to see everything? I can see me and Phil tiny up in the top. But in the big screen that I have in front of me, do I click on naming so I can see you there? Let me see. Hold on.
I think you hit speaker view, and then you see whoever's speaking full screen.
Speaker view. Where the hell is that at?
I don't know. Up in the upper right corner of the picture. I
In
think.
the upper right corner, if you put your cursor
Oh,
up
there you are. Now I can see Phil.
Well, that's because when I'm speaking, it's showing me up there. But if you go to the upper right-hand corner, there's a little, your cursor will say view, and it'll allow you to change some stuff.
The speaker view, gallery view, and full screen.
I'm going to go to full screen and gallery view. Oh, I can see my face. I don't need to see my ugly face.
We're recording your ugly
Okay,
face.
so there you go. Okay, so that's
The
how it
face
happens.
you were born with. Can't do much about it.
Is that what happens when somebody talks? Is that's when their face shows up?
Yep.
I don't know.
If
Zoom
you
does
have-
its own thing.
If you have what's called speaker view, if you have gallery view, then they're both on at all times. That's what I have on mine.
Oh,
Okay.
you're breaking up.
Am I?
Yeah, but
I'm
Phil,
a
that's
switch-
what happens when you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's great. I live where they can't push shopping carts to.
Yeah, we're losing your audio.
All right, I'm going to switch to my hotspot here and see if that'll work.
Can you hear me then?
I hear you fine. Yeah, it's just Philip we're losing.
Yeah, he's frozen too.
Yeah, he did. He froze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Philip, you could disconnect and reconnect again. That might work.
So how you been, Dan?
Pretty good. How you been doing?
This isn't
What do you take orders for guns? How's it work now?
pretty much. I do have some.
Oh, you do?
I have some guns, but not to the point that I'm going to advertise it.
It's amazing. I mean, you thank Joe Biden for that.
Am I locked on still?
No, it's beyond
Now
that.
we hear you, Philip.
All right, so I should have the hotspot going. Is that better?
Yeah, you're moving kind of like in.
We can hear you now. You didn't freeze up. You're moving again.
Well, there you go. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Joe Biden's wonderful. What do you even say about the guy?
You can't say anything about him. He wants to get the.
Oh, come on, man.
What did
Come
he
on,
say last night?
man.
He said that the rights in the Constitution are not.
Nothing's absolute. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, nothing's absolute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he shows his true colors.
Well, he's not absolute.
He's a turd sandwich. That's all there is to it.
Actually, he's not doing anything. It's the people behind his back who's doing everything. He's just a puppet.
Yeah.
I wish that was true, but he's out there.
It is true.
No,
It's
no.
not him, dude.
What I'm saying is he's still guilty for his actions.
Oh, regardless, yeah. Well, they're always going to blame Trump too, and half of the stuff it was out of his control, but he's still going to get the blame. So, I didn't. I'm glad I didn't watch it. I've been listening to AM 590 this morning since I got up this morning, and so they've been playing little clips of the crap that he said, and it's like, why even wanted to?
Okay. So am I looking a little bit better there on the video? We just switched over to the hotspot. Dan, all of a sudden you're on the screen now.
Hey, I can see Dan.
Yeah, now you can see the, can you see the timer? If I get out of the way, wait, that's
I
wrong.
can see it from here.
Ah.
9:40:06.
I don't, that's the clock. The timer is the.
Oh, I can see it now.
computer
There
screen.
it is. Yeah, I see it. I see
Yeah.
it.
I get out of the way. Can you see it, Philip? I thought, or I could
Yeah.
do what I do is like give you a 10-second warning.
Just the 10-second warning's fine. Unless you're gonna stand there and
10 seconds.
do charades for us or something, you know?
I could turn off my
I
screen.
think
Then
you
if you
should-
don't want
You
to see
guys
me.
ever
Yeah,
see? You guys know?
You should be
Jeff
like,
Dutt?
no, you should be the dancing background girls, you know, just play some music, be back there dancing. We don't hear the music, we just see you dancing. I think that's really what the show needs, Dan.
No, kind of like boxing. You
Oh,
know,
there he goes. He
boxing. They
disappeared.
walk around with a sign.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Second
on, man.
request.
Come on, man.
Sit here and pick my nose.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, man. Get on there, Dan.
Oh.
You guys know Jeff Dunham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah. Doesn't Biden look like Walter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely.
He does. Yeah, exactly.
Except
Grumpy
Walter,
old man.
except Walter's more alert.
Yeah.
The wooden dummy
Come on,
doesn't
Earth
need
makes
as
more
many
sense.
naps. Yeah. The wooden dummy doesn't need as many naps as China Joe Bribin.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you like this? How'd you like Rudy Giuliani gets raised yesterday, FBI raid? But
Oh my goodness.
right, you saw that?
How come we
Yeah.
didn't rate anybody else on the other side?
Well, Hunter Biden.
Number one.
They're saying that they're checking into Rudy's business dealings with the Ukraine. It's like, wait. That
Yeah.
was Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. And if you don't fire that prosecutor in the next 6 hours, you don't get $1 billion. That's Joe Biden, right? But the FBI.
Yeah. What
can't find
about
the FBI can't find its ass with a snow shovel when it looks towards that kind of corruption. Unbelievable.
what about our SAR that was talking to the Iranian the whole time?
Say it again.
What's his name? The climate czar now, but he was Secretary of State. Was it? No, what was he?
Yeah, what's his name? Kerry.
Kerry.
John Kerry.
Dealing with
Oh,
Iranians all the time.
The Iranian spy.
Yes.
I'm John Kerry.
What about our own local?
I'm John Kerry, and I'm
What
reporting
about
for
our
treason.
Our own local guy, pencil neck,
Which one?
sleeping with
If or small swell?
yeah. No, the other one. No, yeah, him. That's right, him. So sleeping with a
what's his name?
Chinese
Is it small swell or swallows well? Which one is it?
swallows well.
Okay.
Swallows well.
Yeah. That guy who is impinged by the Chinese spies, and so Nancy Pelosi puts him back on the defense committees. Anyway,
What are you gonna do?
it's over, man.
This is so crazy.
Come on, man. It's over, man.
It is my as
And
far
the
as I'm
best thing,
concerned, it's
wait.
over.
But we have a savior coming. California, Jenner for governor.
Oh my goodness. It just keeps going downhill.
I'll take Jenner anytime over any of these other idiots.
I don't want to hear about those preferences.
I mean, who else has thrown their what happened to the guy in San Diego? Is he still gonna run?
Yeah. Yeah.
John Cox?
He's
Do you guys not
No,
remember?
no.
the other one, Falconer.
I don't know that.
Cox would be a mistake.
No, Cox is terrible. Do you remember what he did last time?
Now Cox can go suck his cock.
Wow. Okay, we're
He
recording.
didn't do anything.
Exactly. He beat out everybody in the primary and then went to sleep and let Newsom take it. Cox is an absolute rhino. He should not be allowed out there at all. Shouldn't be supported
It's
by
going to be a crazy.
anybody, anybody in California. We need somebody
If
like
there's a
Darryl-
simple,
We need somebody like Daryl Issa.
if there is a
now.
recall, you could win with less than 1% of the vote. It could be anybody because there's going to be thousands of candidates. It's
But we need
It's an
somebody
ego
like
raise.
Daryl Issa to run, or another guy that'd be absolutely great, although I love him as a congressman, would be Devin Nunes. They understand what California needs. But Darrell Issa, Devin Nunez, I don't really trust McCarthy. I think he's just
Oh,
he's been down that road. He's too middle of the road. He's your typical county committee Republican out here in
What about
California.
Maxine Waters?
What about her?
Why don't you run? I'll vote for her.
oh,
They get all up in your face and then deny
Can you
it.
see her? She'll be
That
talking
wasn't me.
24/7, man.
That wasn't me doing that. I wasn't out there saying harass them, get in their face, burn the place down. That wasn't me. That was just a video of me, but it wasn't me. Thank you, Maxine. You make all the sense. All right, man. Hey,
now we got you warmed up. You got the
no, I'm
the
done,
blood
man.
flowing.
Hey, did you know that there was a White Lives Matter rally?
No, that was a absolute crock of crud.
Oh, is that what it was?
The one in Huntington
Wasn't that
Beach?
in Huntington Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think I saw that on the news.
they threw that out there. Nobody's going to show up for a White Lives Matter. They did this so they could have conflict. It was a bunch of knuckleheads. And the only people that cause conflict are, once again, the leftists, the Antifa types.
So it wasn't even the right doing this. It was Antifa
No.
planning this.
Yes. Just like the, well, let's talk about January 6th. We'll talk about the White Lives Matter thing. And January 6th. Did you see that they're investigating, who was it last night? This guy's a political pundit from America First, and they banned him from flying because he was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. He didn't go into
Wow.
That's
he didn't
good.
go into any of the buildings, and they know all these things because they do the geofencing and stuff. But anyway, all right, we got lots to talk about here. Vince, anything special for you today?
Specialty?
Special that you want to go over today?
There's nothing to run on specials on, brother.
Oh, no, nothing. Okay.
My store looks like a Russian, actually more like a Cuban store now. Nothing on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah,
do have some.
Can you get ammo? Do you have any ammo?
I have
Limited?
some ammo.
Just
I have
limited?
some ammo.
He gets a crate of it in, and he sells a crate and a half. So there's
Yes.
never going to be a supply of it because whatever's coming in is right back out the door.
Yep, you got it.
All right.
Crazy.
Same thing with guns.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 12 Glock 19s coming in, and 7 are already sold,
Oh, wow.
and the other ones are going to be sold today.
See, you could. They're restraining your business, but you probably could be making a lot more if you could
Oh
get
hell
what you
yeah, man! I can be sitting in piles of money right now if I want. If I could.
But you can't because you can't sell anything. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I can't get anything. I can sell everything. I can't get anything.
Right.
How's your leg, by the way, or your knee?
Well, see the crutches right there? It's all here.
Is it?
Got the ice machine running on it right now. Yesterday, it
Are you
felt
gonna be up?
Oh, we had one of those.
Are you gonna be up and running for the hunting season, or you won't?
I have to. I made a big commitment this year, so I'll be there.
Okay.
All
You might have to use the gun as a crutch.
There you go. That's what they're for.
Thank you, man.
That's what. Yeah. You ready to go?
That's why I always get them with a longer barrel, so I don't have to lean over.
There you go. Just put one of your shoes in the bottom so you don't get your barrel full of dirt.
I'll use the crutch. I'll use the crutch end as a muzzle brake cap.
That's funny.
All right, you primitive screwheads.
Ready for a show?
Send it.
Here we go.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Hello, folks. Welcome to another edition of Firing Line Radio Show. This is Philip Naiman. I hope you're having a great day out here on Saturday. We're recording this a little bit early today. Whoops. And there goes my computer going nuts. We're recording this a little bit earlier today, this week. because I've had a few, well, I had another knee surgery. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But joining me this week, I have Vincenzo Torrelini, the Cuban Italian stallion. Hey, Vince, I noticed that the Raul Castro
What's
has
up?
stepped down. So maybe you could just take over Cuba now.
Sure, why not? I think I threw my name in the hat there for next election.
For the Cuban
Um,
election?
yeah, I mean the way we're going in this country, I don't see much difference between us here and Cuba pretty soon. I think we're all going to be in the same boat.
They got better weather than most of the country up here too.
True, and we got a better beach.
You got better beach. Absolutely right. Yeah. So, folks, if you don't know the story, Vince came from Cuba as a young boy. His family had to flee the communist oppression, and here he is in California, watching the communist oppression rise again. You know, are you seeing any similarities here, Vince?
Um, I don't want to say 100%, but it's getting there. Of what's going on? Being controlled by uh, somebody always wants to tell me what I got to do, and that's what we flee from. That control of the government telling you when you can go buy shoes, when you can go buy food, and how much of it can you buy. And we're almost in the same situation here in not just California, across the United States. I mean, it's not 100% comparison, but slowly but surely, it looks like it's heading that way.
Yeah.
I hope we can stop it. I mean, that's my ultimate goal, is to stop it. I already lost one country. I don't want to lose another one, but it looks like we're heading that way.
You don't have a very good track record there. You're 0-1-1. So right now we're in a tie category. Folks, if you don't know who Vince is, well, shame on you. He is the owner of Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo in Riverside, California, corner of Brockton and Arlington. He's been doing his best, or doing his damnedest. I don't know if I can say that on the station, but doing his absolute best to try and get, I guess on Salem, I could say he's doing his darndest. So Vince is doing his darndest to get you guys ammunition and firearms and supplies and gunpowder and primers and anything else that you would absolutely want. But we've got a little bit of a supply chain issue. Wouldn't you say so, Vince?
Oh yeah, big time. I'm constantly on the phone calling my suppliers, um, asking them. I don't beg. There is no need for that. I just ask them, hey, if you find something, once in a while, throw it my way, and they do. I mean, they like talking to me because I'm not some of the other locations that all they're constantly is calling them and screaming, how come I don't get any product? I just thought, look, man, when you find something my way, send it my way. And just by me saying that, next thing I know, I look at my one of the distributors, like, oh, it's like Christmas. I got guns coming. I got ammo coming. It's funny because I've been doing this. I'm 60 years old. I'll be 61 this year. I started doing this when I was 17. And I've seen the changes, but I've never, ever, ever in that many years in this industry that I couldn't find some kind of product. Every time something happens, we lack of something. Sandy Hook, we lacked AR-15s and that kind of stuff, but we always had ammo and we always had guns or some sort of guns. But to the point that if it wasn't because I have some consignment firearms, my display case will have, right now I have 6 new guns, which will probably go out today, done. And so until next time around, ammo the same way. Ammo comes in and it goes out, and I limit depending on the caliber, I limit 2 boxes per person. And some people get mad. It goes, well, you got more on the shelf. Yeah, but I want everybody to get some kind of ammo. And of course, if I sell a gun, a Glock 19, I want to hold back at least 1 box. So when the guy comes to pick up the gun, he doesn't walk out of here with just a metal brick in his hand. So I hold back ammo for
So
a lot of guns that I sell.
You mean a gun without ammunition is a paperweight?
Pretty much. I guess you can put a string on it and a rope on it and and swing it around and yeah, and use that as a weapon. But you know how many times I released guns here, and it's a first time buyer, and so it's the first gun they're walking out of here with, and no ammo. And I go, what am I going to do? And you go, well, you're 50% ahead of the game. Now you're only shopping for the ammo versus before you were trying to find both ammo and the firearm.
So,
And of course,
the,
you know that in California, you cannot buy ammo unless you own a firearm.
no, unless you have a
So
firearm registered to you in California with that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. You have to have at least a firearm registered to you within the last, I think, 9 years or so. Because we've had people that come here that bought a gun. Grandpa is going to take the grandkids to shoot, and they bought the guns in the 80s, and they can't buy ammo to take the grandkids to shoot. There is another process you can, but it's not just walking in and say, let me have a box of ammo. I'm going to go shoot with my grandson and teach him how, the works and in and out of a firearm, how to be safe and that kind of stuff. Now he has to do it with a pellet gun.
Wow. So let's talk about this. If I have a firearm registered to me, let's say I bought a Mossberg 935, okay? So I've got a 12 gauge registered to me, but
Right.
I'm trying to buy 9mm ammunition. Is that a problem?
No.
Okay, so as long as I've had a gun registered, they don't care what caliber I'm buying.
No. They tried originally to do it that way, but they pulled it out and
That's
then
what
they
I
just
thought.
left it as.
Okay, so that they threatened that, but that's not the official rule right now.
No, it's you can buy any caliber ammunition as long as you have a firearm under your belt within the last 9 years.
And what did they start recording in the last 9 years? Was that when they started recording long guns?
I think so. We're in 2021. I think long guns started in, I want to say 2017 or 2016.
Yeah, so why 9 years?
I guess their new, was that?
So why 9 years? What does the 9-year thing have to do with it?
Handguns. I'm sorry, handguns. I guess that's when the the new drill system went into effect, that they have registry that you can, when you input the information, it comes up, I guess, thereabouts. Prior to that, I guess they had no official record that you can actually input. So you've always registered a gun in California, always. One way or another,
Right.
You always register guns in California.
Right.
Some of those records are not accessible by us, by the computer. So
Yeah, I
you have
remember
to-
in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, I worked at a gun store. And when we sold a handgun, we actually had to put one of the copies of the sales receipt or a whole registration form and mail it to the chief of police of the city we worked in and the state. So they both had
Right.
the opportunity to say whether the guy could have a gun or not. So that was back in the
Yeah,
old
there was a
days.
quadruple copies. There were quadruple copies. You had a pink, a yellow, a white, and then a green, and each one went to a different department, local PD, whatever the case might be. But that was all hard copy. I wish I go back to that again, but it was simpler.
The point is everybody's gun in California that's been purchased is registered one way or another. So they say, well, we
Right.
didn't register long guns. It's okay, fine. So it was a Remington Model 70 or Model 700 with serial number GBBBBBB, and they look it up and they say, well, we'll call Remington, and they say, well, we built that in 1997 and we shipped it to Davidson's Wholesale. Then they call Davidson and says, oh, I shipped that over to Vince, and then they ship it over to
Right.
Vince, and you say, oh, I sold that to Fred on January 12th. So there's always been a way to trace a firearm, and these
Yes.
things about unregistered firearm, it's baloney. Now, criminals are not under the law. That's why they're, what's that word I'm thinking of? Criminals. Okay. So this idiot that just had a shooting in San Diego last week, they're saying that, oh, he has
20
an
seconds.
unregistered firearm. Well, he's somebody that's not supposed to have a firearm anyway. So whether it was registered
Right.
or not, he's breaking the law. Folks, we're going to come
Yeah.
back here with Vince Torres at Firing Line Radio Show. Get the podcast at firinglineradio.com. We got a lot to talk about this week, so sit down. We're going to light Vince up. He's going to get going, and we're going to make him take on the governor of California, Vince Torres. We'll be right back after this. I think you should be governor, Vince. They need somebody who
that?
can speak straight and clearly.
Philip, where's your microphone?
I can do that. I can
Because
think straight.
It sounds like you're way off mic.
How about now? Is that better?
No, I haven't heard any change. You're just your low level.
Can you turn
Oh,
me
is it-
up,
is it
or do I have
one of
to
those-
shout?
I'll just have to remix after the fact, but it's going to sound bad on your recording. Well, I don't know how it's going to sound on your recording, but yeah, we'll make it work. I just
All right.
wondered if there's, is it one of those, it's
Right
the
here.
thing that's going into your ear?
Yeah, right here. This thing. Right here.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that
got
does,
called
that
last
does sound
time.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, my big microphone set is at the office, and not being able to drive, I couldn't get it. So we're on a
Okay.
not the best situation.
All right. We'll make it work. I just
Thank
have
you.
to go and normalize the microphone after the fact.
Appreciate that, Nick.
All right.
Last Tuesday I was called a racist.
What, for what? What did you do?
It's
This
like
time?
Tim Scott. He's such a racist too.
What did you do?
Because I was asking for a document, and he didn't want. He goes, "I don't have to show you a document. I was born here." Hey, good for you. I'm not asking for this document. DOJ is. And he goes, "I called DOJ, and they told me you didn't need to." Yeah, okay. So you can just call DOJ, like 100 DOJ, and you can get somebody on the phone like that fast. I told the guy, dude, I have another direct line more than you do, and I still can't get a hold of him. So, so he walked out of here and screaming his head off. I'm never gonna go to that fucking Trump-loving store and
That sounds
racist
to me
store.
That sounds to me like somebody who shouldn't have a gun anyway.
He's not going to be able to do anywhere else.
By the way, he wasn't black.
What?
Oh, that's
He was.
funny.
By the way, he wasn't. He was not black. He was brown like me.
That's hilarious.
We're all brown. It's just different shades.
People are
Okay.
idiots.
We're
No,
all
People
brown.
are idiots.
He called Dan, the other guy. His name is Dan that works here. He's white. He's Brit actually, and he told them that he was a racist. And I can see that because he's white. But to call the store, my store, this store is a racist store. Okay. You know, I told the guy, dude, I hope you can get that changed. One less thing I have to worry about asking people.
Right,
You can
right.
get that.
Hey, fix it for all of us.
Well, where's he going to go and buy his gun anyway? If you're gonna have to do it nowhere, like you said, it's.
And by the way, he's a security guard.
Oh,
well,
my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, I think he ran his Segway into the wall one too many times.
I'm gonna give you a hint. What gun you think he was buying?
AR.
No, you can't do an AR.
Oh, that's a
I
black
don't know. the
scary gun. You
cheapest thing
can't
he
buy
could
scary
buy,
guns.
FMK. What?
High Point.
Okay. I wasn't even that low. I said FMK, but he was going high point. Yeah. Wow. You know, friends don't let friends shoot high points. It's just, it's like the
I'll
moped.
tell you this.
It's like the
I'll tell
moped,
you this.
right? What?
I've never had a High Point come back, ever.
Because they're embarrassed.
I had Smith & Wesson come back. I had Glock come back. I have every brand except a High Point.
You know, it's a funny thing. I've
They
seen-
work.
you watch a high point when it cycles, it goes boom, shh, shh, boom, shh.
No, I know. It's a big hunk of metal and there's nothing to do with it. It looks ugly than shit. I wouldn't buy it as a security guard to put my life on the line
I
with
think
if
you
I ever
should
need
paint
it.
it white. You should paint it white and call it a stormtrooper gun. You could probably sell them. Star Wars stormtrooper gun. Just spray paint them white in the back room. And all
Good marketing. See, Philip
Yeah.
should be in charge of marketing.
right, man, let's get going here.
Here we go.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick.
Hey, folks, welcome back to Boomstick Radio. You know, every week, every single week, we are sponsored by Vincenzo Torrelini, the Italian Cuban Stallion, who's here as our guest on the show today over at Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo in Riverside. Now, if you need firearms, ammo, anything you need, Vince is going to guarantee delivery in what, 2 days, Vince?
A day and a half.
Day and a half. Okay. Just head on down there, see what he's got in store. As a matter of fact, I just heard he's got a dozen Glock 19s coming in. Now, I would be beating my feet down there and putting some money down on them as fast as I could. But so you need to go there often and bring money, because it's like Christmas, like he was saying earlier in the show. He's got orders in. You never know what's going to show up. So the more often you go there, the more chances you have to win. So that's Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo on the corner of Brockton and Arlington. 951-823-0211. Vince, how about if I give them out your personal cell phone number?
Hey, go ahead, man.
Okay.
A lot of people have my personal cell phone.
Vince's personal cell phone number is 951-823-0211. There you go. All right, folks.
It's kind of funny when all this thing happened, started last year with the COVID-19 and then the civil unrest and the presidency. So that was a perfect storm for this industry. And that's why everything went crazy. Friends, cousins, best friends, neighbors, all of a sudden they all showed up. Hey, buddy, I need ammo on that gun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, can I have a gun? That's what I heard a lot. Hey, can I have one of your guns? It's like, yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like that. Where have you guys been? It doesn't work like that. Especially somebody like yourself. How often is ATF and DOJ in your store? All the time, right? I run my mouth off on the airwaves. So am I going to step anything out of line? No. Am I going to have anything I shouldn't have? No. So somebody comes up and says, hey, can I get a gun from you? It's like, no, not even. So I'll tell you what, somebody else called me up the other day and he says, what do you know about the militia? I said, that word is the best way to find an FBI informant. Just keep looking for one.
That's right.
Anybody says that, just they're FBI, ATF, just go with that assumption, because that ain't going to happen here either. But we are under siege. We are under siege as Americans by the leftists, and Joe Biden is one of them. Absolutely. Now, if you saw in his speech about gun control the other day, what he said is that there are no absolute rights. Right?
Exactly.
There are no absolute rights. He said last night in his dementia to the press, what was it called again? Anyway, in his ramblings last night, he was saying that, we'll get to that part, but let me just go back to the absolute rights. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, are our absolute rights. They weren't given to us by the government. They were given to us by God, because we're in a country of people who recognize that we have inherent rights, and those are enumerated. They are spelled out. These are our rights. These belong to we, the people. This is not for the government to say, you can only do this, you can only do that in these specific areas. Now, I would be very upset if I were Kamala Harris and I heard Joe Biden saying none of these rights are absolute. I would be extremely upset if I was Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, because one of those rights, one of those amendments was the 13th Amendment, which made slavery illegal. So Joe Biden, none of these rights are absolute. You're talking about slavery. You can bring back slavery. You're already talking about Jim Crow. Now you want to bring back, you're on the same thing that can be brought back. You're an idiot, Joe Biden. Your Second Amendment rights are given to us by God. We have the right to defend ourselves from bad people and bad governments.
That's right.
That's what those are there for. That is our right. That's not what the government can tell us to have. Here's what he said last night. He said that we the people hey, we the people are the government. That's what the Constitution says. We the people are the government. Well, you know, Joe, you take the exact opposite argument when you say that we the people are not the militia is the government. Well, wait a minute. Are we the government? If we are, then we are the militia, we are the government. You can't have it both ways. In a rational world, but of course we're dealing with, you know, China Joe Bribin, not in a rational world. And I think one of the things that they're making a big push on right now, Vince, you've seen this before, is what they're categorizing as a ghost gun. Okay.
Right.
Now, in the 1968 gun bill, we were allowed to manufacture our own firearms. If we wanted to build one for ourselves out of our own stuff, in the 1968 Gun Control Act, it was allowed. I think it was, you could build 5 a year or 50 a year or something like that, but it was a very small number. And it's, if somebody wanted to be an artisan and build their own thing, they wouldn't get in trouble like Randy Weaver. So that is in federal law. We have the ability to do that. Now in California, we have to register them. So even if you build one, you have to register it with the state. They're saying that this guy in San Diego had a, what they're calling a ghost gun, and it was not registered. So let me get this straight. So he is a criminal. He has a gun he shouldn't have. He didn't register it already, and he shot some people. How is gun control going to stop any of that? Because he broke all the gun control laws. Well, it is so hard to understand why these leftists, progressive, communist, socialist, statist scumbags are always pushing down this line that we need more gun control. It's like, no. You're letting felons out of jail. You're letting people walk free. The gun didn't do it. And that's, you know, the other thing that they've done, and you've probably seen this too, Vince, what the original story about a ghost gun was an 80% lower that was built by somebody, or a muzzle loader or whatever, something that was built by a person at home on their own machine and wasn't registered. And that's fine. You can do that. And as long as you're not a felon, I don't have a problem with you doing that either. I don't want felons to have guns. That's a big thing for me. No criminals should have guns. Anyway, so this ghost gun thing, they have said that we've had a huge impact or a huge increase in the number of ghost guns found at crime scenes or used in crimes. Do you know why that is, Vince?
Is that true?
Well, what they've done is they've expanded the definition of what a ghost gun is. So somebody bought a Brenda 92 from you in 1998, and it was stolen 4 years ago out of their house. And the cretins that stole it grind off the serial number, right? So now when that shows up at a crime scene, because it's a stolen firearm used in a felon and grinded off a serial number, they consider that now a ghost gun.
Okay.
So
technically it's not.
No, they've expanded the definition. So it's like, oh, look at this problem. It's like if they said that drunk driving was anybody who had a coffee container in the front of their car, well, it's not really drunk driving, but they can say the numbers are higher because there's pull over more people with coffee containers in the car, right? They've expanded the universe because they want to use this as a story. But the ghost gun thing is absolute pucky. The first one that we had in Santa Monica, I believe it was a Santa Monica shooting that had Kevin De Leon was standing up there, remember, with his 30-round clip.
Oh, yeah.
The ghost gun fires 30 rounds in half a second. And when you look at him with that picture, that gun, there was like 10 different felonies on that gun. Had an 11-inch barrel. Well, that's a short-barreled rifle. That's not legal in California. It's not legal federally without the federal stamp. So you've got those major issues there. It had a vertical forearm grip, which in California makes that another no-no, right? It had adjustable stock, detachable box magazine. There was 10 different ways that it made it illegal, whether or not the guy had registered it or not. And not to mention the fact that he used it to kill people, which I think is still illegal. So
is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because people coming out of people are coming out of jail sooner than they're supposed to be. Well, by a crime that they committed. So is it really a crime, or is it just a punishment? You know, like when you're in school and they put you in the corner of the room. Okay, Charlie, go to the corner of the room for the next 5 minutes. That's how they're treating the criminals nowadays.
5
They just
minutes.
take you to another big room
I was in the
and they
corner of
let
the
you out a
room.
day later.
Corner of the room was my seat. They just moved my desk to the back room.
One thing, first of all, you going back to what Biden was saying, I guarantee you that on both sides, left and right, but I think more the left, you ask anybody in Congress if they know the Constitution, guarantee they don't. They know the First Amendment, they don't know the Second Amendment because we hear that all the time. And it's hard not to remember those things. But if you ask them for any other number, they're going to go, let me look it up right now. Or what's her name? The girls always, the talks for the press secretary will come around and we'll come back.
I'll get it.
What do
I'll
they say
circle
then?
back. Circle back.
Let's circle back. Let's
So,
circle back.
you know what? She's such a delaying tactic. It's like when your computer won't boot up and you got the little wheel of death, right? That's her.
Yeah.
She's circling back, circling back, circling back. So
I want to say something here, and I've been saying this for a long time. We do not have, in this country, we do not have gun culture or gun violence. That is the biggest lie in the world. We don't have any kind of culture. You do what you want to do. This is a free society. And if you want to own a gun, you own a gun. You want to own 3 cars, you own 3 cars. You want to own 100 homes, you own 100 homes. So if you own 5 houses, do you have a home culture now because you own 5 homes? What about gun violence? I've owned a lot of guns, and so far none of my guns have ever gone out of my safe and shot people on the street. So when the only way we can start fixing some of these problems is when we identify the people, not the item. We don't have gun violence. We got people violence.
you are singing my song. So here's what we've had. We've identified this numerous times.
5 seconds.
Well, actually, we've identified numerous times that we're going to have to come back after the break for this to finish it. Folks, Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Check out bullseyesport.com, firinglineradio.com for the podcast. We'll be right back after this. Snuck up on me there, Dan. 5 seconds.
You don't have the thing on your end, the clock.
No,
thing?
he's got an official clock, so I can come in
No, I
close.
know he does, but I thought
then
you. Okay, but usually
No,
when
it's
we're when we're over there, you have one next to you. When we're at the.
Correct. Well, that's his
Okay.
clock. Yeah, I can just see it from there. But
Oh,
it's,
okay.
if I'm recording the video, and if I do that, then the clock is up the whole time, and it's not that exciting.
It might be exciting for some people.
Well, I do have some fresh paint back here, so they can watch the paint dry behind me, and that will be the best part of it.
What number deer is that behind you?
That's Bullwinkle. That's the big one from Mexico, 37.5-inch. The one on video.
Yeah.
That's our
I mean,
logo.
what number is that? Do you know what number that is? Number 1, number 10, number 15
Oh,
of your hunts.
He's my largest deer by far.
Okay, but you don't know when how long
Oh, how many
that's
I've
your
shot?
number 12 deer.
Oh no. Probably in the 30s.
Oh, okay. So you've hunted a lot before that one there. I thought maybe that was your first deer that you ever hunted and it's in the wall.
If that was my first deer, I'd quit because you're never going to do any better than that.
Was it a doe?
my first deer was a small buck, Southern California, about a 14-inch forked horn. And I think I was more surprised than he was when we ran into each other at 20 feet. But yeah, that's a whole different story. But when you're young and you're brand new, people shoot the small ones. And then when you realize
that one behind you got that in Mexico?
Yeah, that's Hermosillo.
Oh, I didn't know you can go to Mexico and hunt.
Oh yeah, no, that's amazing animals down there.
Were the cartel holding it down for you, or?
So interesting story. They've got the federales out there. They're driving around in brown Hummers, right? And so they're in these Hummers, and up on top, there's a guy with a machine gun sticking out the top of this thing all the time, right?
Right.
And they're all in black. So I was wearing like a black neck gaiter. I had a black jacket on, my black hat, and we're hunting what's called a high rack, which is a rack that's on top of a Suburban, That's how you cruise through that really, really dense forest so you can see stuff. And we come up alongside the highway, and I look, and there's all these federales going by me. And I realize I'm dressed exactly like them, standing on top with the rifle and all black. Like, man, I just hope we don't. I'm going to change my jacket. Put a brown jacket on now, just to change that out.
All you have to do is wave at them and go, hey, probably wave back at you like, hey, in front of us.
No, well, I'm not in one of their trucks. Yeah. No, Mexico's different. You just have to really make sure you abide by the rules. There's some great hunting, great opportunity, wonderful people down there. I mean, the guides, Abram, my guide, Manny, Yanko, just fun. A lot of fun, good people. And I've had 3 great experiences down there. But now it's time to go hunt some sheep. So we'll talk about that later.
How are you?
Yeah.
Those ones that they're on the side of the hill.
Yeah, the ones in my neighborhood eating the.
Oh, the one back there.
Yeah. All right. White lives. Let's go here. All right, man. You ready, Dan?
See.
Spartans! Lay down your weapons! Come and get them!
Hey, folks. Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Moulin Lave Saturday. Hope you're having a great day. We've got Vince Torres here, Vincienzo Torrelini, the Cuban Italian Stallion from Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo in Riverside. And just head on down there. Like we were saying earlier, it's almost like a gift bag. Some of those things you're a membership club of, you pay $30 a month or whatever, and they send you a box of something. Well, that's what it's like when you go to Vince's store, because he doesn't even know what's going to come in that day. So every day is like Christmas. You walk in there, and hey, we got Glocks. Hey, we got Smith & Wessons. Hey, we got ammo. You don't know. So every day, you need to go there every day, go early, go often, and bring money, and just buy whatever's there, because it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future with China Joe Biden in office. Hey, we also have a chance here. I know you worked very hard on the recall election, but we have a chance here to remove California's governor. Vince, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think by the time we finally push it forward, it'll be election time anyway. It's taking like forever. So, and I think he knows that. And when is his time due? Is it next
2022?
Next mid-election?
Yeah, I think it's 2022.
The midterm.
No,
so midterm election, which is next year.
Right. That's when he would be up normally.
Yeah. So we're already in almost May. So by the time we get him out,
yeah, folks,
does it matter anymore?
If you don't know who we're trying to get rid of here, it's Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has been one of the 3 worst governors of all time in California. Now, 4 times that was Jerry Brown, but Jerry Brown's one of the worst ones. Gavin Newsom is an absolute turdamundi. And Gray Davis, okay? Gray Davis gave us Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger gave us microstamping. So we need help here in California. And what we need is we need somebody strong to run that's going to do the right things for the right reasons. Now, do not trust John Cox. He sold us out last time. Travis Allen, I don't know. He seemed like a good guy last time. He was beaten by John Cox, and John Cox walked away and didn't do anything after that. Maybe he'll show up again. I don't know. I
hope not.
Jenner is running. What do you think about that?
Hey, we'll have 2 different genders in there.
Are we going from the frying pan into the fire? I don't know, but it's a.
Oh, he is. Or I'm sorry, I don't know what you want to call him, but I'm gonna call him him. That's how I know him as a him.
Just say Jenner. All right.
Jenner.
The last name's Jenner. Just say Jenner. We don't want to be like Joy Behar.
He's a conservative. He was a conservative individual. I don't know if he still is. Anyway. I don't know. I don't talk to the guy. I don't see him much on TV anymore. He's no longer part of the. Not that I watched it anyway, but
I just want to get off that subject. Bruce Jenner was a hero to me in the 70s. Watching him win the decathlon, I still have an autographed photograph of him, you know, the Sports Illustrated cover. Just thought he was amazing. And anyway, so, but I don't want him
And
as
he
my
was.
governor. But I don't want Jenner as my governor. Anyway, so we want to make sure we have somebody who's good, solid, and is running, and then fund them going for that. There was something that happened in Newport or Huntington Beach here a couple weeks ago. This false flag event called the White Lives Matter rally. Now, we've seen a couple of these things pop up, and I want to just throw this out there to you guys that you need to realize there's a lot of bait going on out there. Nobody is going to run a White Lives Matter rally. Nobody who's a serious person. Now, could it be billed as such to aggravate BLM and try and cause problems? Yeah, it's going to be an idiot fest. So when you see something like that, I'm going to recommend steer clear. It's nothing good is going to come of that. Just like the January 6th event at Washington, D.C. Now, January 6th, several things happened. Obviously, we all know that the Capitol was raided by, you know, opening up the doors and the police stepping back and letting people in. That was the raid. Kind of like Okinawa and D-Day, you know, how they had to force their way onto the beaches. But no, the doors were opened up, people were let in. Now, if you look at who was involved in that, and you look at who the Trump supporters are. Now, this guy on your screen on the right, the guy on the screen on your left here, which is Vince and I, we're your average Trump supporters. You are not going to see us scaling 40 feet of brick wall, hand over hand. You're not going to see us doing a one-hand grab and hang over the Senate floor, okay? Those are Antifa punks. All those morons that were in there are all leftist punks wearing red hats, trying to push this agenda, running around saying, we did it, we've pulled this off, we're blaming it on Trump. You even saw was it the CNBC or CNN editor was there saying, we did it. And oh, you're not recording this, are you? The guy goes, yeah, oh no, of course not. I just have my phone in your face. You know, it was absolutely a false flag. And these things are going to appear. They're going to pop up like that, and they're going to try and make us look very poorly. The one of the gentlemen in America First Project, I forget his name right now, but he's just been banned from flying because he was in the area on January 6th. They put him on the no-fly list. So we have totally have an armed and politicized FBI, ATF, Homeland Security. They're coming after patriots on this, and you need to watch out for that. So you need to make sure that you're covering your bases and you're not taking stupid risks that are not going to do you any good. The FBI raided Rudy Giuliani a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's that's talking about breaking the camel's back. I mean, how many we can sit here and name 10, minimum 10 people, probably more, 10 people on the left that should have been raided. The house, the car, the garage, the mom's father's house, the girlfriend. I mean, we can go on and on that have done more damage. Nothing proven, but could have done more damage than Giuliani did.
And they're saying that, well, we have to investigate his ties to the Ukraine. It's like, wait a minute. Hunter freaking Biden, okay? This guy's getting $1.8 million a year from the Ukraine to do absolutely nothing from a corrupt company. His father, as vice president of our country, says, if you don't fire that prosecutor who's looking into the company that's paying my son a bunch of dope money, we're going to take $1 billion of aid away from you. And son of a bitch, he fired him in 6 hours, right? That's Joe Biden's exact words. Oh, come on, man. They have politicized the FBI, the ATF, the DOJ, and Homeland Security to go after people. And I'm sure the IRS, he in his new budget, he's saying he wants $80 billion to start auditing more people. All right. That's our, where does he see the enemy as? He sees the enemy as middle America, people who own their own companies, people who hire people who don't want to bend the knee to whatever privilege he thinks he's going to give them. So we're on the opposite side of this, folks, and you need to take care. You need to make sure that you've got your stuff in order. You need to make sure that everything you own is legal, okay, for the state that you're in. If you need to have a boating accident, go boating. But you have to understand we're going to see more pressure on good, solid Americans. They're going to try and chip away at the edges first, but they're coming. They are coming for your guns. Bingo, right? That's what Joe Biden says. Hey, are we
Yes,
coming? You're going to come for our guns? Bingo. I'm going to put.
It's a really simple thing that we have to pay attention to. When the left is talking 99.99%, they're either doing that exact same thing that they're telling the people that might be doing or be doing it, or they're lying to you, of course. Every time I hear
they have three speech patterns, and you're right. They project. You're a Nazi. Yes. You're a Nazi because you won't let us do this. Well, actually, they're the ones that are stopping free speech and everything else, right? They're the statists. They're the Nazis. So they project. Number two, they flat out lie. They flat out lie. And number three, they flat out lie. No, so number three is they actually brag and tell you what they're doing. So they have three speech patterns. We're coming for your guns. Bingo. And then they lie. Your rights aren't absolute. And then they say, well, you're Nazis. So I hired $80 billion worth of new IRS agents to go out there and harass you guys in that area. So it's absolutely ludicrous, the things that
20 seconds
you're looking at going on here. So all I'm saying out there for my Second Amendment crowd out here is be smart. Okay. Play a heads up game. Realize there are people out there that are nefarious and they will try and hook you into a stupid cause on accident. So you just need to be smart and stay away from certain things. Folks, Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Get our podcast at firinglineradio.com. Head on over to Bullseye Sports. We'll see you there. We'll be right back after this.
So Kamala Harris is either she went or she's on her way to Guatemala, right? To talk to this is idiotic. To talk to the government to find out why is it that the people want to live their country. You really have to go all the way over there to figure out why the hell they're doing
because it's a socialist country. Like they're all leaving. Like Mexico is corrupt as hell. Guatemala is a failed state. El Salvador.
It's like saying I'm gonna go to Cuba and find out why the Cubans are getting on the boat and risking their life all the time in the ocean to come to the United States. There has to be a reason why they're doing it.
I got a seat cushion and a one-arm paddle, and I'm going 90 miles through shark-infested waters, right? Because Cuba's great.
And sometimes I wonder, they just talk things and hope that there is enough idiots out there that believe in what they say, or they're just talking because they just talk. And because remember, there is no more we the people.
No.
It's they, the government. We lost the we, the people, a long time ago, okay?
Well,
let me tell you a small little story here. When we came here in 1967 from Cuba. We moved to Florida. From Florida, we came to California in 1977. So when I turned 12, thereabouts, in Florida, my dad told me one time, son, we came here because by now, you probably know the reason why we came here, better life, blah, 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 that kind of all that good stuff. Don't let this country fool you. This country is communism with food. Keep an eye out. Don't drop your guard, because if you do, you're going to wind up like we did in Cuba. And of course, when you're 12 years old, you hear that, it's like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? But, you know, wait a minute, I can say, what's what my kids say all the time? Oh, Dad, don't worry about her. I know that. You know how they always tell all your kids know more than you? Well, until the shit hits the fan and they come running to you.
Yeah, so it's like the movie Gladiator, right? Bread and circuses.
Right.
Bread and circuses. Here's your $600 extra a month, and watch this, right?
And we're in a country that we are
shiny bauble.
Yeah, we're a comfort nation. We have comfort here. as long as we have that comfort, we tend to forget a lot of things. You and I, because we're hard workers and we work for a living, we don't have the time to be, going to rallies or anything because we got to work. People who go to rally, who are they? On government dough.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
government
on
dough.
one side, it's retired folks. On the other side, it's post union workers. They're sent there to cause stuff.
Right.
Well, they
hey,
get paid to go.
Yeah. I've seen them. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about IDs here. Okay. IDs required to buy a firearm. So we'll pick that up. real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's go, Dan.
Here we go.
Yes. Great hunter. Yes. Fine figure of a man. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That is all you need to know for now.
That's it, folks. That's all you need to know. Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Get the podcast at firinglineradio.com. Here with Vince Torres. We're talking about how to fix the world. Basically, we're going to put Vince in charge of California. I'll take over as Emperor of America, but you can take California here. I don't want to be a president. I want to be an emperor. Just get stuff done. There's
Yes.
a lot of things that need to be done. Just fix it. Take about a week and a half, I think, but I can get it fixed. All right. Buying a firearm in California. Let me ask this question, Vince. What type of ID is required to purchase a handgun in the state of California?
Well, it's easier to get a gun than a library card. Who said that? Remember who said that?
Joe Biden,
Obama.
Gavin Newsom.
Obama. In a speech, he said that it was easier to get a gun than a library card. I don't know, maybe if you're a criminal and you go to East LA or something, sure, I'm sure you can get one faster, you can get a library card. But no, you got to wake up, because we sold a lot of guns since the pandemic or the Chinese flu to first-time buyers, and they got a wake-up call when they walked into a store, and I asked them for a California driver's license or ID. It has to be, of course,
California
valid.
ID, right? Valid.
California ID. You need a firearm safety card,
So on the
which is
California
a
ID,
30.
on the California ID doesn't have to have a special California ID, right?
Right. So if your California ID says federal limits apply on the upper right-hand corner, you need to then show me proof that you are a legal resident in California via birth certificate,
Birth certificate.
passport, or if you're not a citizen but you are a
Green card.
legal resident, then you're what used to be called a green card. I don't know what they call it nowadays. So those, you need that, okay? Just to start off. Of course, you need your firearm safety card, which is a 30-question test that you have to take. You can miss up to 7. It's a state fee of $25. And of course, that's going to make you an expert once you complete that test. Then you fill out the 4473. I enter all your information in the system, submit it to DOJ. Now you got to come back and pick up your firearm. Now you need to show me a second proof that you do reside in that address. And that has to be either a car registration, phone bill, gas bill, something attached to your home. If your address in your driver's license does not have the correct address,
Like a
now you
PO
have
box.
to
Like a
satisfy
PO box, right?
a PO box, and we get that a lot from people who live up in the mountains.
Yeah.
That a lot of stuff is PO box. Now you need to comply with 2 entities, state and federal. So on the federal side of it, you need to have something that is government, and people freak out when I tell them you need something government. Well, for instance, your car registration is a government entity. If you have, let's say you're retired from the military and you get your VA documents on the mail, that's come from your government. Voting registration, or when you get the voter thing in the mail so you can vote, that's also come to your address and it's come from the government. If you get to go to jury duty, that also is a document that comes from some kind of government. So it's a little harder, but you can get it.
Well, here's
Now you
my
got to wait 10 days for your gun.
10 to 50 days. Between 10
Well,
and
so
50
far
days.
it's been 10 days now.
I
For a
remember
while
last
there,
year. Last year I had a
Yeah.
couple 30, 32 days.
yeah.
Right?
But now they're back to 10 days for the most part. You can always fall on a delay, and people get all pissed off. Why am I on delay? I don't know. It's only DOJ does that. And
So here's my point on this. We have in several states, we have where you must show a state ID to vote, right? And we are told that it's racist. It is racist to have a state ID to vote. Well, then is it not racist to require all of this to buy
yes,
to buy a firearm that you're legally entitled
Yes.
to own? So maybe we should
Yes.
have the ACLU and NAACP file some lawsuits against the state of California, because this is, if we have to show an ID, a state ID to vote, and if that's racist, and I have to go through all of these things, then obviously this needs to be redone, because this is just pure racism by the Democrats not allowing people of color access to firearms. They're putting these hurdles up to stop them because they believe that getting an ID is too hard for those people. They believe that. It's what they're saying, that it's impossible for them to get it. So therefore, they're obviously saying, once again, Jim Crow or Jim Eagle laws, as Joe Bribham said, obviously this is a new form of discrimination against those people that they say cannot get an ID because of the racistness of the California DMV. Right now, I don't think the DMV is racist. I think it might be incompetent, but it's not racist. But for them to require all of these things again for somebody to purchase a firearm, yet say that the simple purchase or accessing a California ID to vote is racist, they can't have it both ways. And that's what is the mind melt that drives people like you and me insane, is like they're lying this way and that way. They can't have it both ways. And then we have the fifth column, the media.
But they do have it both ways.
Because the media is their lapdogs. They are pushing evil. Okay. The other thing I want to bring up is people are called the elites. Okay. They're not elites. They're evil. They're the evil elites. Just call them that. IVILITS. They're evil elites. These people are pushing an agenda that is evil. It has evil backgrounds, evil origins, and evil results. And just like they have three different speech patterns where they're projecting, they're lying, or they're bragging, the same thing, everything they do has an evil result. If you look at every one of their policies and ask yourself, are we better off? Are we better off with open borders?
No.
Are we better off with empty prisons? Are we better off with felons never going to jail? Are we better off with reducing the penalties for using a firearm in a crime from 30 years to 3? Are we better off? Are you better off having 52,000 homeless people pooping on your sidewalk? Are you better off with that? Every one of their policies is designed to damage the United States. And those of you out there who voted what your union told you to do, you would better wake up. Wake up for damn sure and say, heck no, we're not doing this anymore. We're voting correctly. I don't care what your union boss says. He's a pansy. He's sold out already. He's one of them. All right. Realize he's on the other team. You have to stand up and do the right thing. You have to vote the right way. And you have to be willing to get kicked in the shins, because people are not going to be happy about it. But you've got to do this if you want to save the state. Now, California, everybody's leaving, right? So, how many times have you seen this? Somebody says, well, I'm going to Arizona. I don't care. Really? Look what happened in Arizona, guys. I'm going to Nevada. Really? Look what happened in Nevada. Idaho.
Now everybody's going to Idaho. Everybody's going to Idaho now.
Well,
They're going to destroy Idaho.
right, exactly.
Hopefully
why I bought
not.
land- That's why I bought land in Wyoming. So, but you can't escape it, because if they get their right, if they get the DC statehood, that's 2 more idiot senators. Californians, we hear these people saying all the time, "Oh, we need the state of Jefferson." Dumbest idea in the world, because they'll get 2 more idiot senators. George Soros will spend $1 billion getting an idiot senator that you think is a good guy that's not, that will stab you in the back like John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, John Boehner, all those guys who are Ryan, all those guys who always play one game and stab us in the back when it's required, or when we need
The
them.
2 ladies, what are their names? The 2 ladies?
Snow and
And they're all-
Murkowski. Olympia Snow and Susan Murkowski from Alaska. Can you get a more conservative state than Alaska? And that's who they send us, right? That's what I'm telling you, is they'll spend the money to get these
20
people
seconds.
in place. So we have to fight it at all costs. Okay, so here's the deal. You need to join the California Rifle and Pistol Association.
10 seconds.
The NRA needs to get its act together, and we need to fight this at all fronts. I want to thank my special guest, Vince Torres, Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo. Head down there, buy whatever he has on the shelves today, and join us at firinglineradio.com for the podcast, and on gab.com, Firing Line Radio Show. God bless. We'll see y'all later.
That was smooth.
That was smooth.
Well, now we have to have Dan do his magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Hey,
Yes.
Vince,
That's what schools do.
thank you very much, boss.
You know, we get a lot of people coming in the store. Believe it or not, I've always had people come to the store and say, "Hey, man, I want to thank you for sponsoring the show. That's a great show." But lately, more and more people have been coming by and saying, "You guys do a good job on the radio now." Of course, I don't think they're talking about me, because I'm not there all the time. I think he's talking in general. They probably think that I own the station or something. But I go, yeah, I mean, that's a good show. I mean, and I tell people, was it 7 years now or 8 years, something like that?
Eight and a half. It would be 9. I think 9 in July this year.
Yeah.
9 years.
And I tell people, it was a concept thrown out there to see if it worked. And here it is 8 years later. It's getting stronger as day progresses. A lot of people, talk about it, goes, I can't wait for Saturday to see who the hell is going to be there, and what are they talking about, whether it's hunting or scopes or whatever the case might be. So it's good to hear.
Well, actually, what you're hearing is I've had a lot of guest hosts recently, and I think they're referring to the guest hosts that I've had fill in for me. So that's the improvement in the show.
Is that what they say?
Frick, Travis.
Oh, wow. All right, guys.
All right. Go sell something.
Thank you.
God
Thank
bless.
you, Phil. Yeah. All right, Dan. Take care, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
All right. You too, sir.